Hey guys, I am making this video to try to document and keep on file and just show other people, whoever wants to see it, the process of everything that I'm doing on my 91 Toyota pickup. It's a two-wheel drive automatic single cab, and I picked it up down the road. And in this first picture, as you can see, it was there. I would say just sitting there without moving for maybe 4 or 5 years, and the owner didn't really use it. He says the fuel pump was bad, and I do think the fuel pump is bad, but I have yet to check that. But this first picture shows that it was just sitting there and it wasn't moving. And I asked the owner if he wanted to sell it, and he did. And this is the picture that I have, and this is the rear picture, like the backside, and it has a camper in it. The owner had the camper, and I just took it like that. And this next picture, you're gonna see me is gonna be already, where we first put it, where I'm at right now at my parents' house. And the process to get this is I use my truck, my F1, I have an F-150, and we use like a 5 feet tow strap and a D shackle that we put on the Toyota pickup. And when we first try to pull the Toyota, the front passenger brake caliper was seized up to the rotors, which wouldn't let, or the brakes were seized up or baked into the rotors and rusted. They wouldn't allow the wheel to turn, and you can just hear the wheel squealing. So what I did and what I thought to do was remove the wheel and remove the brake caliper, and hopefully it makes the rotor free and spin, and I can just tow it in the meantime to the home, because it's just down the block where the truck was at. And sure enough, I the picked it up with a jack, removed the wheels, removed the brake caliper, and I tied it with a rope around the, I guess this is the dampener shocker around the struck tower. I just with a rope just tied it around, make sure it wasn't rubbing in the wheel while we were towing to the house down the road. So that's what we first did, and it worked. And after we got inside the house, we used our zero turn to pull it back to this section where it was, because at the time the motor wouldn't run, the car wouldn't run, so we just towed it and we just left it there. And I actually had to use the handbrake so I can make sure this, so I can make it stop. Because while my brother was driving my truck and I was inside the Toyota, and he slowed down to enter our driveway, and when he did that, I was still moving, so I had to use the handbrake, and it made locked up everything. It kind of just made both our car jitter because he was still moving and I wasn't, and it gave a little jitter. And this next picture is the interior. That's how the interior looks. The seat it's ripped, and I mean it looks a little dirty here, but I mean it's still dirty, but I cleaned it up a little bit. This next picture, I cleaned up the outside. I used some, what they call it, it's like boat soap. I forgot who makes it. I just used just any soap, the cheapest soap we had. I had at the time that I have extra of, and I just use a sponge, just like I just gave it a wash, a quick wash, and it cleaned up pretty nice. But the paint is still bad. And in this next picture is when I'm removing the camper, because I do not have plans of using the camper. So in that picture, it's me. It's just me myself trying to remove the camper, and I'm shimming it back a little bit by a little bit. Here's another picture on the side view, and this is at this point right here where it's at. The back end is on top of a wooden chair, and right here it's on the edge of the bed side, and from there I just pick it up and I slide it around to the floor, and that's what I did. And here's another picture of it on the chair, and then this is the picture of it without the bed, as you can see. And this is the front view, side view again. And then this one right here is a picture of the transmission, and I don't know if that's a solenoid or something's leaking there. And I actually got my transmission service manual today, so I'm gonna try to check what's that out. All right. Okay, in this picture right here, you can see me with a hammer, and then underneath it's the panel is a it's the tailgate panel that covers the tailgate handle, and that little piece is on the back side of the tailgate that covers all of that. And I removed it, and it was those little square sections are like they have like dents, and it's kind of just not straight. And I was here with a dolly and a hammer hitting it, trying to get it straight, but I was only able to get just that one section pretty close, and then I stopped doing it, and I've been doing other things. And this next picture is just a picture of the rear bumper. It was just really rusted, and I removed the bumper brackets, like those two that stick up. I removed those and I kept those. Okay, this next picture. This is the engine bay. I believe this is okay. This is after I washed it, and then, or this is before I washed it. This is after I pressure washed it. I just gave it a pressure wash. It's not it's not clean really. It just took out some of the trash that was in there. Now in this picture, as you can see, the oil pan is I guess it's seeping. Oil is seeping through the oil pan, and it could possibly. I mean, the oil is all the way up there by the crankshaft, so it could be a main seal too. I'm pretty sure. I mean, pretty sure the main seal hasn't been changed in forever. So this is one of the problems that I do not know what to do. Well, I do know what to do, but I don't know if I want to change the oil pan and do all that. I really don't know. And I'm just going through these pictures. So yeah, this is the bottom oil pan section. Okay, on this next picture, I have the jumper cables on the positive terminal of the battery and the positive terminal cable on the for the car for the truck, because the cable does not reach the post, and I believe the terminal has been replaced before and maybe it's been shorter, but I also don't know because the battery bracket in the bottom is smaller than the Group 24 battery, and beforehand it had a Group 26R 26 battery. But I was looking online, and the battery what I seen was usually just a Group 24, so I got a Group 24, but it seems to be bigger, so I'm gonna have to replace the cable for the positive terminal and check that out. On this next picture, it's me lifting up and moving the bed or the pickup back so I can get access to the fuel pump because that's what I think is wrong, which I actually today I checked. This is the day after the start of the video. I checked the fuel pressure and it's actually 40 psi when you jump over the on the diagnostic uh ports. When you jump those with a cable, it actually goes up to 40 psi, but it slowly drops, which I'm not sure if it's normal or not. But it doesn't drop, crazy fast or anything. Just maybe after a minute or so, it'll drop a few psi. But what I checked was I'll jump over the cables and it'll be at 40 psi. Crank the car and it would start for like 2 or 3 seconds. But while in those 2 or 3 seconds that I run, the pressure just drops to 10 and it turns off and it stalls off. And I tried to remove the fuel regulator vacuum hose and cover those up and see if that made any difference, but it doesn't seem like it did because it still was stalled after a few seconds. This is just another picture of the bed removed. And this is pictures of the front right rotors area. This is when I was trying to see if the caliper was working or not, but it wasn't working at all. And it's just seized up, and I need a new caliper there, or I really need new brake system really if I could, but at least the front calipers and rotors and those brackets for the wheels, those extension. I wish the service manual told you what those were for, but a little Google search won't hurt. And this next picture is a picture of the valve cover, the inside, and it's just covered in sludge and it's just dirty. And this is the inside of the valve train right here. As you can see, it's not the cleanest, but I did check for those plastic guys to make sure they weren't loose or anything and they were still good. But yeah, that's all I have for this video in the meantime. This video is just to show my truck and really mainly made it for Ray. So hopefully he can see this and get a little laugh what I'm trying to fix here compared to his car, because his car is really the ideal what I would like to do. You're doing a great job, Ray, and you're giving me a lot of motivation to fix my car. Maybe not currently the way how you have it, but in the future to really do almost like an off frame restoration. That's what I would like to do later on, is the off frame restoration. Get the frame powder coated, make sure get all new brake line. Just pretty much just try to make it look new with dual timing chains and just everything. Make it bulletproof, really. Thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing and joining this journey of mine. And if I figure out what's the problem with the fuel pump or why is it running, I'll upload that too. Thank you. See you next time.